Welcome to Good Day Chicago in our 9 o'clock hour, everyone. Here's a look at some of this. Are we feeling a little like, oh my gosh, two nights of football back to back? Like
I got some sleep last night.
Oh my goodness. I had to have some bags under my eyes this morning, but we do have some stories that we're following for you this morning. Let's get to them.
Including an opinion worth billions of dollars could be coming down from the nation's highest court this morning. We're talking to an expert about how this tariff decision, which stems from a case right here in Illinois, and how it could impact our economy.
Already is. Markets are going crazy this morning.
Yeah.
They came, they saw, they brought home the win. The Hoosiers, they made history securing their national championship against the U. We're talking to a reporter who was actually in the stadium when they won the title last night.
That final drive, I was like, once again, I was like, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Final moment.
Congratulations to the Hoosiers. Plus, his designs have dazzled the world on the movie screen, the stage, the red carpet, and now the costumes of Paul Tazewell are coming to the Griffin Museum of Science and Industry. And we're going to head back over to the exhibit with Jake. He's been in like one different area for each hour, which means there's extensive catalog there. That's going to be later on this hour. I'm just wondering if he could bring something back for me.
Oh,
you know, maybe I could fit in something.
Add to the class.
You want to wear one of the Hamilton,
Lolita or
one of the
something.
Hamilton gowns?
So anything there is going to be wonderful. Yeah.
All right, taking a live look outside at the bitter cold here in Chicago. What does that temperature say? Does it say 3?
Bottom of the screen? Yeah.
Yeah, whenever it's in the single digits, that's how you know it is very, very, very cold out there, Caitlin.
Look at the lack of folks walking around out there, too.
Can't blame them.
Frozen tundra.
I see about 4. Don't blame them. It's beautiful, but my goodness, it's cold. So let's talk about our skies first. The positive side of our forecast today. It is going to be a stunning start. Grab your sunglasses and your thickest winter jacket. Snow for our neighbors and portions of western Michigan, but in Chicago right now, it's quiet, it's bright. But it feels like we're 6 degrees below zero at the lakefront. 8 degrees below zero is the wind chill right now at O'Hare. 4 degrees below zero in Aurora. 12 degrees below zero in Waukegan. Here's your next 12 hours. That feel like temperature climbing to about 10 this afternoon, but then we stay there through this evening. Temperatures tonight staying pretty stagnant. We're going to be seeing the 20s tonight. But our futurecast does show temperatures pushing to the low and mid-20s as our high today with that sunshine. Then we have the chance for some snow moving in. You can see scattered snow showers as we head into early tomorrow as well. And then in the evening, we have the potential again tomorrow for some scattered light snow. Temperatures tomorrow, though, are going to be around 30 degrees in the afternoon. Again, that scattered snow is going to bring that potential for a few inches of snowfall accumulation, especially along the Wisconsin border. But it could lead to some slick spots on the roads early tomorrow, too. So take your time. Looking at our winter storm alerts, winter weather advisory in place from Lake to McHenry County, where we have the best potential to approach that 3 to 4 inch range for snowfall. 7-day forecast, temperatures are going to be down to 21 degrees again on Thursday, Friday around 0 as our high. So it's going to be very cold at the end of the week and heading into the weekend. Saturday's high only 9. And then we wrap up the weekend with a high of about 17, starting off next week with sunshine and 20 on Monday. Anita.
Okay, thank you, Caitlin. Let's take a live look outside the Supreme Court right now. The justices of the nation's high court could issue their opinion on a tariff case involving a Vernon Hills company today. Not much activity outside, but of course inside. Oh, that's where we really want to be. If they ultimately rule in favor of the company and against the president, it would mean a refund that could amount to billions of dollars in tariffs to importers. So here to break it all down for us, Jonathan Hoenig, Fox Business contributor and founding member of the Capitalist Pig Hedge Fund. Thank you so much for being here with us. This is a big day.
Yeah, this is a huge day. I mean, we really are in uncharted territory when it comes to this. And keep in mind, these tariffs are taxes that have been paid by Americans. A study came out just this last week that said that 96% of the tariff burden has been borne by Americans. So you've got tremendous uncertainty in the marketplace now, not about earnings from companies, but about procedures and policies from Washington, D.C., particularly these tariffs.
Yeah, and when we talk about refunds to the tune of billions, how would that even work? Break that down for us.
I mean, it's literally impossible almost to imagine because the tariffs have been so widespread. In fact, just in the last 48 hours, the president has proposed more tariffs on France, upwards of 200% on wine and champagne. So what is guaranteed is uncertainty. And I want to take it back to last year during the president's so-called Liberation Day, you saw the NASDAQ fall 11% in just 2 days. So, it's just, as I said, this is uncharted territory. The market's off its lows, but still dramatically lower for today, and the decision isn't even out yet.
Yeah, and as you were speaking there, we were taking a live look. Right here, we can see on our screen what's happening with the stock market today. Just tumbling on the stock market this morning. So, where do we go here? When you say that, even as we're seeing this, and even as this decision is kind of hanging in the balance, the president is still saying more tariffs could be on the way, especially when it comes to the situation with Greenland.
Indeed. And the market at this level is really in an interesting, I don't want to say breaking point, but it has now, in effect, given up most of its gains for the year. There's an old saying that says, as January goes, so goes the rest of the year. So the market extremely weak right now. And the president has talked at great lengths about emergency measures to acquire Greenland. So, as investors, you're looking at the prospect of either a hot war or an enormous deficit in terms of spending U.S. money to purchase Greenland. So the whole Greenland issue is pretty fascinating. It's also, I think, bewildering for a lot of investors. A 2004 agreement says that the U.S. can build unlimited bases in Greenland and station unlimited troops. So the prospect of the U.S. spending perhaps $1 trillion that simply doesn't have isn't giving investors a lot of solace either. The dollar also weak, just along with the U.S. stock market.
Yeah, and so as the president's speech affects the market, so do his actions, of course. Do we think that he finds maybe a way around the Supreme Court, some other type of way to do what he wants to do ultimately?
Well, that's fascinating. Keep in mind last year, the market sold off 11% and only started rising once the president's tariffs started, those so-called Liberation Day tariffs started being pulled back. So we see a correlation, at least historically, higher tariffs, higher taxes, lower stock prices. But the president has been very adamant that he will find some emergency measure. He'll find some way to increase or perhaps maintain the tariffs that he's already proposed. For him, it's the central part of his economic and international agenda. And you can't deny that it's a tax, $200 billion paid by Americans just in the last year alone. So how we deal with it, I think, is probably one of the reasons why you have so many Americans simply not feeling, a lot of the economic data has been good, but a lot of Americans haven't felt it. That $200 billion is money that they're paying out of their own pockets, and we're seeing the result on Wall Street this morning.
Yeah, that is a really big point there, because the jobs market, when the last numbers came out, you thought, okay, actually this is positive, but that's not what people are feeling at the grocery store. What else tugs at the market? We talked about Greenland, of course. When we initially captured Maduro, we had some volatility there with the markets. Even President Trump's decision when it came to OPEC.
Yes. There's so many factors impacting the market, but the one that you're alluding to, I think very astutely, is inflation. It has come down, yes, certainly since President Biden's time in the White House, but it is still what economists call sticky, nearly 3%. The Fed wants it at 2%, and that's why so many of us are accustomed to a basket of goods or groceries that we used to pay, let's say, $30 for is now more like $45 or even $50, and that's simply not going away. And you have a real, very serious and terrible conundrum of many people's wages not outpacing simply the cost of living. So the market's dealing with that. It's dealing with a lot of uncertainty about inflation, government spending, but also tariffs, government taxes, which it seems are poised to go up regardless of what the Supreme Court says today.
Okay, and the Supreme Court says no decision today. That just came in my ear as you were speaking there. So no decision today, but great conversation. Thank you so much. We'll, I'm sure, revisit it again.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Brian?
Well, our other big story this morning, the temperature outside. Frigid temperatures, and it doesn't look like that's changing anytime soon.
No, Roseanne Tejas has been braving the cold for us this morning and talking to other brave souls who are navigating the chilly conditions out there. Roseanne, I want to point something out here. Today is the 41st anniversary of the coldest day ever in Chicago, when it was 27 degrees below zero. We're about 30 degrees warmer than that right now.
Word. It's practically a heat wave. Thanks for putting that in perspective. Actually, I saw your note, Mike, and that is, what year was that?
1985.
1985. Okay, before my time in Chicago, actually. Well, you know, doctors always say on a day like this, you should stay indoors if you can. So today, we're heeding their advice. So we've come inside. We're at the Golden Apple in Lakeview, where folks are starting this cold day with a warm meal. But, you know, we're all Chicagoans, and we know the signs when we see them. You know, for example, the steam rising on the Chicago River and steam coming off of the buildings downtown from the rooftops despite the sun beaming down. It's a sure sign that it's bitterly cold. The snow on the ground is frozen, and all of this, they're all reminders that it's a good day to avoid the outdoors if you can, or bundle up if you must. Well, plenty of people of all ages are just taking it in stride.
Cold, but not as cold as it's been the past few days with the wind.
So
But
you're not that bothered.
no, I'm kind of used to it.
Are you cold?
Well, yeah, but my legs wasn't stopping cold because I was walking a lot.
Now, if you want to see the preparation of Chicagoans, you go to the Bear game Sunday night. They're all warmed up. They're all layered up. They've got hand warmers, etc. You see people walking around today going to work. They don't even have a hat on. So I'm wondering if they really live in Florida the whole year and just come here for a week. Because Chicago, the cold isn't bad if you dress for it.
Steve making a great point this morning. A lot of people are out there without hats, but we also saw, you know, a lot of people very bundled up because this is just that other level cold, if you will. It made me bring my flannel shirt out, so that's saying something. And again, the fact that we're indoors, right? Back to you guys in the
Nice
studio.
posing there.
It's a cute
Right.
flannel, though.
It
It's a
is. It looks
cute
good.
flannel.
That's right. If you dress for the weather, it's not as cold.
That's
right?
the truth. Let the fashion go.
All right. Well, as we head to break, we want to remind you that the Chicago Bears are hosting their 37th annual coat drive.
The Bears, along with Joel Osco, the Salvation Army, and Sherway Movers, are asking for your coat donations. So just drop them off at participating Joel Osco's now through February 16th. You can find more information online at chicagobears.com/coat drive.
Ends it at work. I'm attorney Chris Cooper, and
That is not snow on the pavement. That is lovely sodium chloride, plenty of salt down. And you need a lot of salt to keep the ice from reforming because it's very cold. Remember, salt loses its effectiveness the colder it is. And we're going to be using salt with more snow coming in. We got the forecast in just a little bit. It's time for the Mike and Mike Show. A new study finds that many people who stop using weight loss drugs will return to their previous weight within 2 years. And researchers are saying that this rate of weight regain is significantly faster compared to those who have lost weight without using those drugs. Fox Medical Team's Dr. Mike is in the house now to tell us more about this. All right, this is becoming, more popular, the Ozempic, the other drugs out there, Dr. Mike. But that whole pendulum may swing back. You put the weight on. How big of a problem is this?
Well, it can be a big problem. Big Mike, I love talking with you, man. All right, now look, here's the deal. All right, about 1 in 8 Americans are now on these GLP drugs. And to be honest with you, about 60% or more will gain the weight back after they stop taking it. And they do it more rapidly than if they were on an exercise program. That being said, I don't want anyone like being a DuPont commercial, better living through chemistry. What I want is people on these GLP-1 drugs to also work on diet, exercise, and getting yourself into a program, because you'll be better off once you stop those medications and you'll not gain the weight back. But I'm a believer in these medicines, and I think that for people with type 2 diabetes, people with heart attack risks, these drugs not only help you lose weight, they reduce inflammation. I'm a believer. I'm a big-time believer.
All right, so you're saying that the drugs alone are not the quick fix. It's still a lifestyle change that people are going to have to do to make these, the weight loss stay permanent.
Big Mike, you got to invest in your health 401k, man. All right?
I like that.
That's what you got to do.
I like that.
Just like the weather in Chicago, you got to invest in a good outfit so you don't get frostbite, especially if you're coming up from Florida. You got to take care of yourself,
When you come here to town, Dr. Mike, make sure you have fur-lined scrubs. That's the way you're going to stay warm here. All right, you're talking about exercise. It turns out that reports are saying that getting enough exercise, not only is it good for your physical fitness, it may actually help reduce depression symptoms just as effectively as psychological therapy. Give us the latest thinking on that. I guess, is this all endorphins related?
Well, we've known for decades, and I love when you talk science, Big Mike. Yes, endorphins, and it gets the body to feel better, less depressed. And so for some people, either they don't have access to a mental health provider, or they want to supplement what they're doing with either psychotherapy or medication. It is the way to go. You got to get your butt off the couch, start moving around, get out of bed, and if you do that, you're going to find that your depression lessens, you're going to feel much better, and that will add to whatever you're doing already in terms of psychotherapy and medication. Look, if you have bad thoughts, you're suicidal, you need to get help right away. Okay. And that probably involves either medication or psychotherapy or both. But exercise will not in any way, shape, or form make you worse. It'll make you better.
Great advice, Dr. Mike. Always love talking to you here on these Tuesdays. And stay warm there where you are. And I see you're a Penn graduate. I'm just now noticing you went to the University of Pennsylvania School of Medicine. Salute to you, sir.
Well, when my first day of anatomy started, they said, where are you from, Harvard, Yale? I went to a small state college, and they said, we don't take people from there. I said, well, I guess you made a mistake. And I've been here for almost 50 years. So there you go.
That'll teach him, Dr.
Bingo.
Mike.
Yes.
You need a little more enthusiasm there. Dr. Mike, great talking to you this morning. We'll see you next week, hopefully. Still ahead this morning, we're going to get a preview of the Chicago International Puppet Festival. Plus, a TikTok chef gets published. We'll talk with them about their new cookbook and what's hot when it comes to weddings. You'll find out about the 2026 wedding trends. All of that and more coming up at 10 on Chicago Now. We'll be right back.
Your go-to source for live severe
All right, 9:22 right now, everyone. Look at this. A new comedy drama series called Messy Lola is centered in Chicago. Spotlights talent from right here in our own backyard. That means we need to be even more invested in it. You know, the show star Cynthia K. McWilliams is joining me right now, fresh off the show's premiere this past weekend. Welcome, and tell me what that feels like after you've poured your heart into something to finally sit back for the premiere.
Oh, it feels so amazing. And yes, indeed, sitting back. I am relaxing. I enjoyed my MLK Day yesterday and recovered, but the premiere was so incredible. It was so great. Chicago came out and supported. We packed out Cine City Studios. It was fantastic. I could not have asked for a better premiere.
And since it is huge, so you packed it out, you packed it out. Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, so tell me what Messy Lola is even about.
Messy Lola is about an adult woman in her 40s navigating, trying to adult.
There's a lot of navigating.
Yes, I think that really one of the things we wanted to look at is just a lot of shows examine sort of like that transition into adulthood, but what it means when you're still struggling with adulting as you've been an adult, and also the expectations, and really the weight that can put on people, and I think some of the undiagnosed mental health conditions that we're all walking around with that can happen as a result of trying to take it all on. And I think Black women in particular often are asked to do a lot, be a lot, and it's assumed that we're strong enough to manage it all. And so this is looking at maybe what happens when you don't and how your life can become a bit of a mess. And we wanted to do that in a comedic way, though. So we're looking at some serious issues, but with a lot of comedy.
Well, you know what? Sometimes, and a lot of comedians will say, like, comedy helps people to absorb the serious things.
Absolutely.
You know, like you're laughing.
We want to bring you in. We want to get you laughing, and then we might sneak a little message in here and there, just a quick little one.
Yeah. Oh, I love it already. Yeah. Why was it important for you to have Chicagoans as a part of this, and Chicago to be the backdrop? I mean, you have Chicago through and through, behind the scenes and on camera.
Absolutely. I'm very proud of the fact that this is written by Kevin Douglas, who is a Chicago writer. We went to DePaul University together. It is directed by, pardon me, by Mr. Blake Martin, who is a Chicago native, and we featured an all Chicago crew. We have all Chicago locations, and this is produced by Sin City Productions, a production company that I started here in Chicago. Why is it important to me? Because I started here. I got my degree from DePaul. I love this city. It really is the place that grew and developed me as an actress. And so even though I spent several years in LA, I really decided that when I got to a place in my career where I could choose where I wanted to live, I wanted to be here. This is where I felt like I could make the most impact. I can't do anything about LA, New York. I don't live there, but I live here. And I really wanted to bring more opportunities. We operate what I like to call a teaching set, where we create opportunities for people who are new to the industry to come in, to get the experience of working on a SAG set, and to have opportunities to shadow and or to be right up next to people who've had experience in the industry. I'm also very big about profit share, and I'm very big about ownership. So I'm here to reimagine and rebuild how we do film and television in Chicago.
I love it. You know, they say, like, don't just walk through the door, but, like, leave a crack.
Yes.
You know, for somebody to be able to come
I'm leaving it wide open.
Yeah, I love it.
Ain't even a crack. I want you to come on in. I want you to flood these doors. I am very interested in connecting with, partnering with, growing, and still learning from every Chicago creative, because just because we have experience doesn't matter, really, because in the arts, there's always something new. There's always something, it's creative. That's what this creative industry is about, and so we must create together. So I'm very passionate about learning from young people and grown people who have stories they've been sitting on that they're dying to share. And I really want to be a space where I don't have all the answers, but what I do have is vision, and also a group of incredibly talented people who are ready and willing to partner with you and make things happen.
It sounds like a beautiful environment that you have created there. So quickly here, tell me two things. One, do you have some other projects that you're working on? I mean, we're talking about Messy Lola. We want everybody to see Messy Lola. But do you have some other projects that you're working on? And then I would like you to tell us where we can see Messy Lola.
So, yes and yes. MessyLola.com is where you can see Messy Lola. And also, Sin City Productions is ccp.com, ccp.studio. That's weird because it's .studio. It's not .com. I know, it's a new domain.
Don't go to .com.
Yes,
yeah.
ccp.studio. And then also, WatchSundayEvenings.com. So Watch Sunday Evenings is Sin City Productions, other productions. So again, we are a production company, and we are producing different kinds of things. So Blake Martin's project, written, directed, and produced by Blake Martin, WatchSundayEvenings.com again. But there you're going to see an incredible relationship drama that documents Hassan and Aubrey and their marriage, and how it falls apart in front of a podcast audience.
They came over here.
Yes, they did. They
I'm
were
like,
here.
wait a minute, I know those
yes,
folks.
my other babies, they were here. So Watch Sunday Evenings was also, WatchSundayEvenings.com is literally available right now. We are an independent production company. It is owned and operated here in Chicago. I did not crowdfund. I didn't ask people to put money up. I really took a chance and bet on myself and bet on this city. And so now we're putting the remote in your hands. So please log on to WatchSundayEvenings.com and MessyLola.com. For $2.99, you can invest in your city and in this industry.
I love it. Love having you back. Continued blessings on your
Thank you very much,
ventures
Anita.
from here. All right, 9:28, everybody. We'll be right back.
Who's the celebrity?
Well, welcome back. Leaders in Orland Park are giving the green light on some of the next steps for a proposed Amazon facility.
It's like all the talk right now. Residents, you know, some of them not too thrilled, citing traffic concerns, among other things. Saquon is live in Orland Park. Saquon, tell us a little bit more about this debate, this ongoing conversation.
Well, good morning to you guys. As you mentioned, you know, this new Amazon facility has become quite the buzz here in Orland Park. It's set to be built just along 159th and LaGrange, and it's really no secret that this intersection gets very congested. It's also home to many major retail stores, including Costco, which is just a half a mile away from where we are right now. Now, Amazon's brand new retail concept would feature groceries and general merchandise and more than 800 parking spaces. It's expected to be massive. We're talking 225,000 square feet. And just for some context here, guys, Walmart supercenters typically average around 180,000 square feet. Residents say they are concerned about how fast this project has been moving and the traffic getting worse in this area. According to Orland Park's mayor, on average, 70,000 cars pass through this intersection every day. Meanwhile, Amazon representatives say multiple traffic studies were done before this was even proposed. Some of their improvements include widening a nearby road and adding some new traffic signals to help reduce some of that congestion. Now, I met two gentlemen who live here, Clint and Joe. They're actually very good friends, but they had very different opinions on the store coming to their neighborhood, and it really wasn't about the traffic. Listen.
I think it just makes more competition. I don't think it's going to hurt small businesses. I think if you go to a small business and you're going to continue to do that.
The world is changing, and retail has changed largely because of the internet and Amazon. Amazon's been the driver for being a pressure on retail in communities, and now you're going to invite the monster to your back door.
Well, at the board meeting last night, the mayor also highlighted the village's history of developing retail, referencing a pig farm that was rezoned and then developed into what's now known as the Orland Square Mall. Village officials also say this new store could help boost the local economy, bringing 500 jobs and additional sales tax revenue to the village. Construction could start as early as this spring, with plans for this new store hoping to be up and running, of course, by the year 2027. Back to you guys.
All right, Say, thank you. And as I'm looking at Say's live shot, all I can think of how cold it even looks. Same thing for when we're looking out at Lake Michigan, Mike.
A little bit of ice out there, and that ice is going to be expanding over the next, probably a couple of weeks. Beautiful blue sky, though. That's the nice part. But, oh, boy, we got plenty of winter queued up and ready to go in this forecast. Let's talk about it. Snow and more cold on the way. Snow tonight and tomorrow morning. The heaviest snow is going to be in the far northern suburbs. Additional snow showers tomorrow evening, and there'll be snow showers, kind of hit and miss stuff that may recoat the surfaces that you just plowed after the morning snow. Then we're gearing up for some really frigid weather here again, Friday through Sunday. Friday, we may not even get above 0 the entire day. We're barely above 0 now. It's 6, but bright sunshine at O'Hare. A west-southwest wind at 9, so we have a wind chill of 8 degrees below 0. It's mighty cold, but then again, it's not as cold as the minus 20s that we had yesterday, so I guess it's a little improvement. 13 at Joliet, 3 at Woodstock, 9 at Gary, 4 at Valparaiso, dozen at Kankakee. But look at all these sub-zero wind chills. Still feels like 12 below at Waukegan. Feels like 11 below right now in Valparaiso. So we have a winter weather advisory. Lake McHenry and all the counties in the northern tier of Illinois and all of southern Wisconsin. This goes into effect at 8 o'clock tonight and expires at 6 a.m. When you look at this map, though, don't think that there's a magical line here at Lake Cook Road, for example, where the snow stops. There will be a gradation of heavier snow north, lighter snow south. But I think all of us are going to get some snow tonight into the wee hours of tomorrow. So look at our future cast. Plenty of sunshine to enjoy out there as long as you're bundled up for it. We have an increase in cloud cover on the way tonight. Here comes the snow, which will overspread the area when a lot of us will be sleeping and get out of here by about 6, 7 in the morning. But of course, there'll still be some snow on the ground and on the road. So tomorrow morning's rush hour may be a little iffy. During the afternoon, we're dry, but here come those snow showers. They get in here tomorrow evening. Probably not going to snow more than an hour at any given location, but that could put down another ½ inch to an inch in a short period of time. And then it's not about snow anymore. It's going to be about the cold. So let's do it. Today, 22, lots of sunshine, a few clouds in the afternoon, southwest winds 8 to 18. Tonight, here comes the snow, 2 to 4 inches possible, especially Lake and McHenry County, lesser amounts south. Temperatures will actually be rising into the upper 20s tomorrow. Here comes that second wave of snow tomorrow evening. Then we have cold weather, 22 Thursday, 0 for a high on Friday, 8 below Saturday morning with an 8-degree high. Then at least we get into double digits Sunday and Monday. No additional snow in sight, but no additional warmth in sight either. A couple of lovely photos to share with you. I wish I could share all the pictures that I got of this from yesterday, but we had a spectacular display, the 22-degree solar halo. That's not a rainbow, it's a halo. And Marty Bodnar sent in that cool shot from Grays Lake. All from yesterday, Bri. And off to the side of the sun there, those are the sun dogs, also known as parhelia. And just a cool shot, Marty. Thanks for sharing that one. And here it is again. This is from Bruce Gardner actually, he took that one, he told me, in Spring Grove, not Richmond, but they're nearby in McHenry County where there's still some snow on the ground. All this caused by ice crystals in very cold air, Brian.
Oh. The worst team in all of FCS football is now the top dog. Indiana beat Miami last night in the national championship game. Here to tell us how the Hoosiers got there, Zach Osmer rejoins us from the Indy Star live from Miami. Good morning to you.
How you doing? Sorry about my voice. It was a long night.
A long night, but a happy night for all the Hoosier fans. Indiana's always been known as a basketball school. It feels like overnight they've transformed into a football powerhouse. How in the world did they accomplish this in just such a short amount of time?
Yeah, I mean, Indiana has a very large alumni base. They will claim it's the largest in the country. I don't know exactly how we measure such things, but they are certainly in that group of schools that has as big of a donor base as anyone to draw from, as big of a fan base as anyone to draw from. And as you said, that passion has always sort of historically been directed toward basketball, but I think when football, particularly big-time football, started to deliver the kinds of results that can get a fan base energized, you saw just how large and just how passionate this one is and this one can be. We've seen sellouts at Memorial Stadium. Along the way of this playoff run, we saw Indiana take over the Rose Bowl, take over the Peach Bowl, and even last night probably outnumber Miami fans in their own stadium and winning a national championship. This place has been recoded for college football, I would say, completely at this point.
Getting back to the game last night, wasn't really a dominating performance by Indiana. Miami definitely came to play in this game. Was there one point of the game that you feel was the turning point?
I think that the two that people will really point to justifiably are the Mikel Kamara blocked punt that Indiana recovered for a touchdown. I think underscoring the idea that this Indiana team just plays and has played all season, cleaner, sharper, more fundamentally sound football than anyone else it's faced. And then, of course, the Fernando Mendoza run. I think, certainly, obviously not a Heisman moment for Mendoza. He's already won the Heisman, but very much the kind of moment that will stick in a player's legacy and a fan base's memory forever. And I think also, when you watched him on that quarterback draw, shrugging off defenders, even knocking one Miami linebacker to the ground, and then sort of, stretching the ball across the pylon through contact, you got a sense for, I think, a player epitomizing the toughness of a team that had to win this game through toughness, that had to deliver maybe its toughest performance of the season against a really, really good Miami team, and it stepped up to the plate with that when it was needed most.
Put his body on the line there. You mentioned legacy. In terms of that, how do you think this Indiana squad is going to be remembered in the years to come?
I think certainly at Indiana it will have a unique place, and I don't say that word lightly, in sort of the history of IU athletics in the minds of its fans, because Indiana has obviously won national championships in other sports, basketball, tennis, soccer, but this was the championship that I think historically, culturally, so many people saw as the least likely, as the most difficult to imagine, just how much it takes to get a football program pulling in one direction at a championship level, at a championship speed, was something that I think Indiana fans, understandably, given their history, just thought was never going to be possible in Bloomington. And for this to happen so quickly, and this season in particular, 16-0, for this to happen in such a dominant fashion, I think this team, this is Indiana's 26th overall national championship. This one, I think, certainly will be remembered out on its own for a lot of different reasons.
Definitely a magical run by the Hoosiers. Zach, thanks so much for your time, and safe travels back.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me always.
All right, time now 9:41. We'll be right back on Good Day Chicago.
Are you struggling with pains?
Head to Aurora. Aurora's Restaurant Week officially kicks off today. And this morning, we are talking to Downtown Economic Development Manager Danielle Tufano, one of my Facebook friends. Danielle, good to see you out here. And La Quinta de los Reyes owners, Claudia and Jesus. We'll get them in here in just a little bit to talk about the details at their place. All right, Danielle, thanks for joining us this morning. Tell us more about Aurora's Restaurant Week. How long does it go, and what can folks expect to enjoy there in Southern Kane County?
This is our second annual Aurora Restaurant Week. It runs from today through February 3rd. We have dozens of restaurants throughout Aurora offering prefix menus, discounted menus. No matter if you're looking for international flavor or something American, no matter what your budget is, you can find it at Aurora Restaurant Week.
All right.
And actually, we have Claudia right here, who's the owner of La Quinta de los Reyes. They've already made us some delicious food. My belly is growling so much.
Okay, well,
Danielle.
let's have Claudia discuss those, and also would you ask her to tell us what flavor margaritas we have, because my eyeballs immediately went to that.
So they're wondering what we have on the table here, specifically the margarita flavors.
Well, we have our house margarita, which is the lime margarita. Then we have the estuary margarita with a little bit of tajin. You know what that is? It's a little chilito, we call it. We have our homemade tortillas, guac, that we do tableside. Here we have Maddie making the fresh wok that you should see when you come.
Claudia, you being a participant for the second year now, what are you guys offering for Aurora Restaurant Week?
We have burrito suizo. We have enchiladas. They're bringing so you can see the sizzling fajitas. And we have, as you see, wok, complimentary salsa and chips, desserts, and homemade tortillas.
Yeah, you know that the guac is good when they're making it tableside. So, there's a lot of stuff here, and Aurora's known for Mexican cuisine, but we also have Indian food, Italian food, everything featured at AuroraRestaurantWeek.com.
That's right.
What looks good to you?
Yeah, so is this like all of those, are those individual items, or is that like part of a prefix menu that they have there, Danielle?
So are you offering a prefix menu, Claudia, or is it individual items that are being discounted?
We do have starters, which is the wok and the chips. Then we have the discounted, like 25% discounted. And then we have the desserts. And we also have the drinks. So your hours will be between $30 and $40. How about that?
Oh, that's a great deal.
Even with the drinks.
And it looks like we just got a nice plate of carne y camarones fajitas, right?
Yeah, what do you guys do special with your fajitas?
Okay, the fajitas, we have the fajita combo, although people can kind of make their own choice if they want just the chicken or the steak or the shrimp. But this is our sizzling fajitas, as you can see there.
It smells so good.
Oh, that looks fantastic.
Delicious.
We're
All right,
so
Dan.
excited. We can't wait to have you.
I wish I were there because I think I can smell it all the way from here downtown. Danielle, if people want more information about Aurora Restaurant Week, what's the best place to track down that info and maybe a list of all the restaurants participating?
You know, the great thing, too, about people who live closer to the city is the metro runs right into downtown Aurora, so it's quick and easy to get here. If you want to find a list of the participating restaurants, there's 50 plus as of right now, more being added daily. You can see the list of participating restaurants, what they have to offer at AuroraRestaurantWeek.com.
Outstanding, Danielle. Thank you for joining us, and thank Claudia for giving us a preview of their wonderful menu. And send me some of that homemade guacamole. I'm ready. And maybe one of the margaritas.
You got it.
Wonderful. Aurora
Thank
Restaurant
you. We can't wait to see you guys. And we are one of the first ones right off of Metro. So you just got to do a little bit of walking. I know it's a little bit of cold, but, you know, you get here and then you have the margarita and the sizzling fajitas. So whatever your choice. We also have veggie plates. So you know, too.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you both for being on with us this morning. All right. Every girl's crazy about a sharp-dressed man. Jake, you are that. But you're talking about some real sharp outfits this morning, aren't you?
Yeah, Mike Kaplan, I have a question for you, if you don't mind. We're live out here at Griffin MSI, where they're showcasing costumes that have won Oscars, have won Emmys, have won Tonys. But correct me if I'm wrong, I believe you and Mrs. C, I spotted you guys wearing just that at the local Applebee's a few weeks back. So I'm a little confused to how your wardrobe ended up here in this exhibit. I'll have to get some answers whenever we come back.
Orange Friday one day.
There you go. That's exactly right. I knew I recognized it from somewhere.
What is it about Chamberlain University?
All right, 9:51, an amazing collection of costumes from Oscar-winning designer Paul Tazwell have magically descended into the Griffin Museum of Science and Industry, and no word yet on whether they arrived by, maybe bubble or by broom.
Well, Jake has been touring the collection all morning. Long is joining us live with a sneak peek. Hey, Jake.
That's right, guys. When you're a costume designer and your work has won Oscars and Emmys and Tonys, I think you've gotten to that point in your career when it's worthy of a museum exhibition. And we are live out here at Griffin MSI, where they have put together an incredible new exhibit. It's called Crafting Character, the Costumes of Paul Tazwell. I mean, just behind me right there, if you've seen the musical Hamilton, you know this one really well. But he's done Hamilton, he's done West Side Story, he's done Wicked, he's done The Wiz. There's really not much in terms of pop culture in the last 10, 15, 20 years that he hasn't done. We're here with Vula Saradakis, who is the head curator of this incredible exhibit. First of all, thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here.
I mean, when you have someone like Paul Tazwell, whose career spans film and stage and television for years now, where do you even begin in terms of curating an exhibit like this?
Well, fortunately for us, I mean, it was a great partnership. We worked with him from the very beginning till the very end, and learning about his craft as we went, and just how all of these costumes are to be interpreted or looked at. And the media in here kind of pairs and integrates the actual costumes with what you see on the walls. So it was a great collaboration and partnership.
That's something that we haven't really shown either, is that the walls themselves also kind of tell a story. So you've got these beautiful sort of pieces of multimedia in addition to actually seeing the costumes up close and personal. And I've been saying this all morning, but I want you to back me up. It's one thing to see them on stage. It's one thing to see them on the big screen on film. But when you see these pieces in person, it kind of gives you a greater appreciation of what this man has done.
Absolutely. And also, we've also integrated narration from Paul himself, where he's talking about this process. We find ourselves in the room of collaboration, where he talks about all the people that he worked with and what goes into his craft. So it's an amazing partnership that he has with everyone.
Okay, well, the beautiful thing about this exhibit is that it's not an extra ticket. It's not, you come out to Griffin MSI and you got to pay a little bit more. It's part of the price of admission, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It is part of the admission, and we hope that everyone can come out and see it and see what what inspired Paul to create all these costumes. So it's a very innovative process, and to see that ingenuity and inspiration, I think, will be an inspiration to all of our visitors.
It's certainly an inspiration to me. Vula, thank you so much. Congratulations, and thank you for bringing this to Chicago. We appreciate you for it. All right, guys, it is Crafting Character, the Costumes of Paul Tazwell, running now through September 7th. You don't want to miss it. Time's running out. We'll tell you more in the noon show, but for now, we're going to go to break. We'll be right back.
Fox 30.
Okay, 9:57 coming up on Chicago Now. What you love the best from us? We're going to be talking with TMZ with all the dirt about Brooklyn Beckham. This is some juicy gossip. Cannot wait
Goss.
to dig in.
Juicy
Juicy
goss.
from Insta.
And we are also going to host here in studio a chef who is going viral for a new cookbook and garnered over 1 million people following her recipes on TikTok and Instagram. We'll be right back with a good hour of Chicago Now after this.
Sponsored by Ford.
Thank you.